but I haven't seen the red dot. There it is. Hello, everyone. This is Grand Madam. Thank you for dropping by this morning. Or is it afternoon yet? It's lunchtime. It's 12:18 on this eastern side of the country. How are you? I promised you that I'd be back today with this particular video. And it is about the Y chromosomes are missing their genes. Let me explain. Females have XX chromosomes, males have XY chromosomes. Now, what I did not know, we all learned this in high school, but what I did not know is in addition to that, there are genes that specifically are sexually oriented with sexual characteristics. The female has, there are 1,600, this is going to sound so tacky and layman, but 1,600 female female characteristic genes energy. Okay, they have 1,600. We have 1,600 genes. Okay, that's XX. XY, the males, they had 1,300 plus some. They have lost 900. They have 400 something left. And now there seems to be an uproar because the question is, well, what happens to the male, if he loses all the remaining genes? And it's interesting. When I first saw it, I thought it was just something you read in a tabloid until it kept popping up. And I started looking at the authors, not the authors, the publishers. And I'm like, oh boy, look at this. And when I saw it in my PubMed, that is the National Institutes of Health data library, where the scientists upload their studies, their papers, their findings on various topics, health oriented. I'm like, oh, let me take a quick look. I took a quick look in my eyes and went like that. Okay, they went like this. Oh my God! I mean, they had it down pat as far as chromosomes, this and that, and blah 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 blah. I said, let me get down to the conclusion real quick before I blow my own mind. And it was like, whoa. Their conclusion is that there are, I think, three options. The third option I did not understand, but I'm going to give you the two that I do understand. First option, possibility, not exact. You have the extinction of the male. Second option, you have the evolution of the male. Third option, you have the diversity of sexually different human species. And diverse human species. So it's like the babies come from the woman birthing the woman, but the human species, as the species is, come from the male's Y chromosome. And it's acting up. And it's interesting. The closest thing they could to compare it to is what's happening. Japan has something called a mole, VOLE. I don't know what it looks like. And a spiny rat. They've already lost their male enhancing chromosomes, which means now they're out of their Y chromosomes. They have evolved. How? There's a lot of weight being thrown over on the diverse species creation. Okay? And I'm like, well, this is something else, blah, blah, blah. And, well, I know it made PubMed, so it's got to be some, something of interest. I think I'll read that later when I have the time. And then, lo and behold, I found it in where, of all places, hold on, the Economic Times. Okay. Now, if you want to Google it, you just Google missing Y chromosomes or chromosome genes. It's hot. I don't know if it's gone viral or not, but this magazine, it's online, has not one but two articles on the same subject from a different slant. Um, One slant is we're telling you the genes are missing. That's one article. The other article are now that we know the genes are missing, this is a possibility as to what can happen and what this possibly means. And basically, they are looking at a not yeah female dominated world. They're also looking at a world of new kinds of human beings. So that's going to be quite interesting. Now they place all of this out as far as 4.5 million. Uh, Let me be clear: the males did not lose their chromosome, their Y genes overnight. According to the science, it took 11 million years, and it'll take 4.5 million more years before they're going to be gone completely. My question is, I don't believe your years. I don't believe I don't believe your time frame. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just straight up and ask. I'm read some cards, um, and just ask. Um, this feels like nature, an evolution in nature, but it also has an element of deliberate action in it too. Maybe I'm just tainted by all this YouTube BS with the red pills and stuff. I don't know. Um, it'll come out in the cards if someone's done any sneaky stuff. Yeah, and I don't believe we have to wait 4.5 million years at all. So I'm going to find out. Are the men going to be losing all their chromosome genes, their Y chromosome genes, sooner than a million years? But before we get into that, let's do this. 528 hertz. Okay, that's going to be enough. Let's see. Are the men going to lose their Y chromosome genes well before 4.5 million years? Now, I don't know how this article came to be. I don't know if they were doing studies on the rats and the mole voles, and they realized, oh, okay, this is what's happening to the rats. Let's see what's happening to the human males, and stumbled upon something. Looking for one thing, you find another, that kind of scenario. Or if something's pushing them to look into it now. Because there's also the potential for a female only world. That's interesting. We could go female only, or we could go into several different new species with several different. I always said people just keep getting it wrong if they think it's just male and female. And that's why I don't believe it's going to take a million years. When I worked at the psychic, okay, um, come on, the I forgot. Dionne Warwick's, she was spokesperson for the Psychic Friends Network. When I worked for them back in '95, I had the awakening of my life. I sat there I was very quiet. I took my calls and did what I do, and I'm like, but my coworkers were so different, so vastly different than anyone I have ever seen before. I saw, I wasn't sure what I saw because I'd never seen folks like this before. I'm not talking about the dress. Of course, the dress was totally different. I came out of corporate. I left the corporate job and went to the Psychic Friends Network as a part time job in the evening. And I'm like, yeah. And I knew then, I'm like, I got to get to know these folks because I've never seen anyone like these before in my life. Who are these people? Where have they been? I was not afraid. I was curious. Here you got a whole thing of people that you've never seen on the planet, and you're almost 40 years old. Where do they work? Where are they? I don't know. But I knew then, I said, okay, we have the, yeah, this has got to be some type of scale. That's not a scale, axis here. Male on one side, female on the other, and then you have all in between. And honey, let me tell you, you've got a whole lot in between. So, and my thing is, I feel that there's a divergence now, a diversity now of sexual genes. Oh, my thing is turned upside down. That have created other human species, and that because of the Judeo Christian influence in the world, or the Abrahamic religions in the world, we're kept from this information. So, question is now that it is completely obvious the males have lost almost half of their genes. No, yeah, almost half of their genes for masculine to make them to support the Y chromosome. Does that mean that the human species diversity has already taken place years prior to the 4.5 to 11 million years projected? Mhm. A diversity of human species. See, that's just right up my alley, like right out of Star Trek. That's just me. I love it. Infinite diversity and infinite connections. Okay, let's see what this says. Uh-huh. Okay. Overall energy, the tent, four wands, the place of celebration. It's also a new home. Hold up, death. Lovers. Things are changing, folks, with these three cards. What it is saying, and basically, this very well may be transformation of the romantic relationship because there'll be other options. There are other options right now. And I mean, I'm not talking about just people, I am talking about there are other options sexually. Here's the Queen of Cups. She's keeping everything a secret, right? Okay. I don't think it's a person. I think this is an energy. This is the feminine. I don't know why she didn't show up as the Empress, but we'll see. Mm. And here is this is the three of Pentacles. This is a presentation. This is something to show. And this is three. So we have three genders. I suspect this is three genders. The great architect is working on the three genders. It's beginning to remind me of what was that sci-fi? Octavia Butler's. Oh, I can't remember what the name of the book is. About when the aliens came in, they were they positioned themselves as go-betweens between the male and the female to just create offspring. I can't remember. Oh well, that's what this reminds me of. Now look at this. We have a queen of coins. No, this is the nine of coins. This is not a queen. Okay. Queen of cups at the bottom. Nine of pentacles at the top. Wealthy, healthy, female. And here's another. This is another death card. This is the four of swords. Usually I see it as a meditation or just taking a break or a nap, but it's falling right across from the death card. And here, the concern is the masculine male. King of Swords. Couldn't have picked a better card. Maybe the King of Wands, but my masculine is going to be the King of Swords. Hmm. Yeah, okay. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energies. And here we have, look, the seeds of love. This is the Ace of Cups. I'm wondering, did I turn that fan on? No, maybe I have to move over some. Yeah, I'm burning up. And then we have, oh, look, folks, this is a manipulation. This is the magician. It is feared that those chromosomes are being manipulated. And in the same token, some people are hoping that they are. Wow, folks. Oh, I'm ready for a snowball right now. Conflict. Conflict. The conflict they're concerned about is the potentiality of having so many diverse humans or humanoids coming from what happens when the male making genes disappear from the Y chromosome, they go to other chromosomes and support them. They go to other places in the body. That's not something you can just release. It stays there, but it works in a different capacity. So that to me sounds like some type of evolution. And here we have the Seven of Wands fighting off what? Something's being fought off here. This is somebody trying to save themselves. That's a battling for. And here we are. And here's the Empress. This is who I was looking at. Feminine. The XX. So this is interesting. Look at this. Look at this. I just looked at this. And this is somebody to me looks like they're going to sleep. Somebody's gonna be put to sleep. The Empress will always have to be here because the feminine always has to be here because she is responsible for replenishing the lives of the world. But I mean, wow, this masculine is literally fighting for his life here. Keep on moving. The mental challenge is insecurities and strength, and it also could be instability when it comes to chromosomes. Hmm. And it looks to me here like the judgment has been made. which is going to be a hard pill to swallow. Who the hell cares if it's 11 million years from now? Okay, and here's we have the Eight of Coins. These folks are out here really studying this stuff. This is what tells me it's before the millions because these folks have been doing these studies. They're trying to find out how they can capitalize off of them already. Already. It's the Eight of Coins working on it, working on the studies. So, what is this telling me? First of all, relationships are changing. Men, female, male relationships. Oh, God, wait a minute. I think the cat's down in the basement and locked in. Okay. Um, it looks like they're retiring. It looks like they've been retired. At the bottom of the deck, we have anxiety, Nine of Swords. I'm gonna need some room. I'm gonna need more room. I'll put it up there. Nine of Swords. Doesn't know at stalemate. Doesn't know what to do. So this is a scientific community right about now. Look at the balancing act. They're unsure about what can possibly happen here in the future. You have the female moving all, full steam ahead, coming into power, coming into wealth, and you have, is this? Yeah. And, ooh, this is men feeling betrayed. They said that she's a bitter woman, the Queen of Swords, but there's a lot of regret here. And in the same token, there's nothing you can do with Mother Nature. That's the Great Mother. And here again, we have a lot of money being put out there for studying, and somebody's asking the same question I am. Well, if this isn't going to take place for another 11 million years, why are we looking at this now? This is something's up. Look at this. Total disruption of the economic system. The Tower and the Five of Pentacles. Things going on behind the scenes nobody sees. There's a lot of stuff. The whole perspective, everything is like at pause right now because people don't know what to do. The powers that mean, the great minds that be, just they are in total confusion and they just don't know what to do. How is this going to impact the economic capitalism? How is this going to impact the democracy? How is this going to impact life as we know it? How is it going to impact? Oh, the cat. How is it going to impact our religions? And here we are expressing some type of hope. Oh, and here's Pretty Boy. He said, don't worry about it. I have a plan. There's that King of Wands. Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. I have a plan. Okay. Okay. Well, he wants to cut off relationships with female altogether. Shame on you, King of Wands. But what he's fearing also is that men are going to be cut off from women altogether, and this passion will have nowhere to go. Well, let's see where's it going. No, this is running away, relocating. So, in other words, you're going to have to transfer your passion from the female somewhere else. That sounds like a King of Wands. And here we have the Wheel of Fortune, and it says, "It's out of your hands, buddy. This is about fate." Wow. Some people are trying to find peace with it. This is about nature. Find peace. You have your family, keep them close. A lot of people have withdrawn from their family, withdrawn from the women folk. You can't do anything about that. That's all Mother Nature. Okay. And it's like some folks have chosen to hide in the closet, thinking that it'll all go away, metaphorically speaking, and not metaphorically speaking for some others. And it is quite a heavy burden to carry right about now, if you're a male. Hmm. Right now, what we have a lot of, I guess you're trying to, okay. What? Oh, I got an interesting message. Right about now, you have society and the churches, they're trying to promote these relationship, male female relationships and marriages. I have the Sun, the Page of Wands, and Two of Cups, and the Hierophant. They're still trying to promote the old fashioned way of uh, being together, but that's been is being cut off. And doesn't this reading seem like it's answering my question about we don't have to wait 11 million years? This is happening now. It is to me. It is to me. And look now, it's like now what? Now what? I put my hopes out there. What's coming back? Yes, and this is impacting the world. It's not just any particular country. And here's the Queen of Domination right here. Three cups, three areas, three countries. What is this? Three cups. And the King of Cups. And the Emperor. Hmm. This looks like, okay, we have three friends, three women's groups. They'll be joining hands from across the oceans. Okay. Working carefully. This is going to be very, very subtle. Very, very subtle takeover here. Or Google, what do you call it? What is a takeover? Very subtle. Especially dealing with the King of Cups. And I do believe this is in foreign lands like the East. Yeah. Yeah. Nine of Wands and Knight of Swords. Somebody has questions. They're still questioning. You know what? Choice, temperance, what? What's the last card? What is the last card? See, I'm getting down to it. What's the last card? Eight of Wands. Things happening when? Quickly. Quickly. Hmm. There's a lot of subterfuge right about now, but the balance, it's like this is wild. Now we have Justice Card talking about balance. High Priestess, what's she talking about? Things are going on. We got the moon here. It's not about money. It's not about economics right about now. This is nature. So you can't fool Mother Nature. You don't play with Mother Nature. I have a feeling Mother Nature has been played with. And this is the backlash. Hmm. So this is telling me, oh, snap. It came out again. Hold on. The my pendulum here. Will the male lose his Y chromosome within the next 100 years? Wait a minute, you up there? I haven't even asked the question yet, and you up there moving. Be still. Give me something. Here we go. Be still. This is a little rubber disc. Just be still. Okay, now, will the male lose his XY chromosomes within the next 100 years? This is yes. In the next 100 years. That's just 4 generations from now, which is why that's why they're doing studies on it now. And oh, will new species of human evolve from this loss of chromosome? Will new species, diverse humans, be evolved? Look, look. So they on point. The next 100 years. That's just tomorrow, folks. That's just tomorrow. I will have reincarnated, and I'll be probably 25 years old. Wow. So that's why those articles and those studies are being written now. Okay, here's another question. What happens after the male loses his XY chromosomes? Let's look at that. I don't want to scare anybody. It's all nature, it's all evolution. It's going to flow without a hitch. There's going to be one hell of a frightening revelation when you wake up one morning and realize. Not too many people looking like you are left around, you know. How will they manage that? What can we expect? What is life like after the male has lost the XY chromosome completely? Because that reading just confirmed everything I've read in those articles this week. Oh boy. Oh, I was telling you about the office, the Psychic Friends Network I was working in, and that's what was going. My mind was the different varieties of male. It went from the Saucy Santana types to the Tom Cruise Idris Elba types. And some, some of those guys could literally give both Cruise and Elba a run for their money. Fine folk. So that tells me there's so many different varieties of human beings here and now. We just don't pay attention, or I don't know what it is with us. We live in a bubble. We live in a bubble. So what can we expect? Once the XY chromosome has developed into something else, what can we expect? has dissolved. What can we disappear? They want to say disappear. What can we expect? What is life to be like? Now take this with a grain of salt, okay? I don't know if it's 100 years or another 1,000, but I know good and damn well it's nowhere near a million. Nowhere near. Or they wouldn't be writing the articles. What would life be like without the XY, with the new replacement, with the evolution of the XY? I'm thinking of Saucy Santana. Oh boy, we might be girls, but mm, mm, mm. Who is that? Who's asking? Who's Saucy Santana? Saucy Santana is, I don't know if he's considered himself non-binary, but he is non-binary. Uh, he has the prettiest face, the best makeup, and the best hair coif you ever want to see. The little curls just laid perfectly. And sometimes he dresses masculine, and sometimes but always with a feminine piece. Always with a feminine piece. Okay, what is life like after the XY chromosome has disappeared? What is life like? I'm afraid to look. Oh, I had some. I'll save that for the next video. I've got two new sets of cards. Okay, come on. All right. What's life going to be like? Oh, cerebral? Worrisome? Eight of Swords, Six of Wands, Two of Wands. People will be very worried about how they look. They'll make choices based upon who they're going to be accepted by. Officially, I'm thinking, I'm groups of people, families, sponsors. This is like sponsoring families, as if you were a foreign exchange student, that you had a sponsoring family that was there to take care of you. This is what it's going to look like. So that means some will have, well, whatever they, well, they'll traditional families, sort of, kind of. Groups, people coming together to form a kind of family. You will, oh, no, not gang, I mean family. Not necessarily mom and dad, of course, but there'll be some older men still left there that can express the guidance and give the wisdom. They'll both be not, they're not traditional father-like figure. They'll be like the mom and pop who worked in the cottage industry back in the 1800s, working from home. Everybody's working from home. And then you're not going to have single people running around loose. You'll be able to have your studies. Whatever you study is going to be how to support the life as is on earth. Then the botanists, the agriculturalists, law is iffy. There won't be that need for that many lawyers. Everything seems to be based on the science of life. Relationships will be chosen. That tells me you'll choose to be in one or you choose not to be in one. And be contracted to live accordingly. And this is weird. Sex is absolutely out with certain individuals who do not qualify for a registered mate. I don't know what they're going to do with these people who don't qualify. I just heard they're going to be out in the fields. What fields? There will be fields. I guess this is the botanists and the agriculturalists. They're going to be working on food sources for the planet. And that's another thing. It's not going to be per your community or your country, your state. This is global. This might be the eastern seaboard state, the Atlantic state, the Atlantic region. These are the foods from the Atlantic region that we have now, but I'm not seeing foods trucked or shipped out of the Atlantic region. What's raised in the Atlantic region stays in the Atlantic region, almost like macrobiotics. Crabs will be eaten in crab season. Maryland, Virginia, Delaware. China gets to keep its crabs and its fish. Alaskan fisheries will expand. They will be very very populated because what's they don't get to keep all theirs though. They got some good fish up there. But the Alaskan fisheries will expand. They will be need those. They're gonna drain the. They can destroy the Alaskan waters like that. Fisheries in the water, sending fish everywhere, but keeping some. Alaska's gonna have problems with its fisheries. The Midwest is, I don't want to say blown out of existence almost, but those dust storms will be unbearable. I'm not talking about cities like Chicago. I'm talking about living out there in what used to be wheat country. And that's because folks do not know how to manage that soil. The people who manage that land are no longer there. The people who were from the land, who lived the land supported the people supported the land, they've been run off. They're gone. So now you have a bunch of people who one or two farmers may save the day in the Midwestern United States. What's going on? Did more storms down south that would make Katrina look like a rain shower. Savannah gets hit the hardest. Georgia. Texas is coming off the coast. It's going to be pulling its residences off the coast, off its Gulf. Put those people inland. Florida, same thing. Bringing more people up into central Florida. That coast is going to shrink. Both sides. The Carolinas will be fine. Virginia's will be fine. The Navy's going to move a little further away from Tidewater. You might come up this way, up the Chesapeake. What about the men and women? I told you, you're registered. I don't know who that person is. They are definitely clairvoyant and clairaudient. Um, you will have to register to be with someone. It's like you put your name in a registry. It's almost like you match up things, but you don't get the chance to do. You don't slip. Wow. What? Shit. What's the word? Swipe right or left. It's done for you by the agency. Crime is at a minimum across the country. I don't want to say that marriages are being arranged, but the relationships sure are. They'll match you up with relatable people, people who have relatable interests and relatable skills. AI is going to have a lot to do with that. Hmm. Movies will turn into instructional pieces. The classics will be allowed, but there was a time when every movie had a moral story. Well, in this one, every movie's going to have a lesson to be learned too. Okay. While I'm in this mode, let me. Okay, here we got the same cards. I forgot what the question was, folks. I went into that zone. I have. Oh, what life is gonna be like after the XY chromosome has disappeared. Some people will feel betrayed. Others will be feeling like, is this worth it? What is this? Four cups. But in the same token, uh, people see it's going to be less sex and more material, more money, more development, more personal development. People are going to walk away uh, and look for better lives for themselves. Yeah, messages will be confusing at first because you're going to get where does money and material wealth fit in? There's going to be a lot of confusion. Here's an offer. Well, offering what? Some people are going to really be put in a problematic situation because of their focus, their money, their interests, their energies, all put into a situation that will no longer exist. Will the United States keep its democracy? No. That's why all of this can get done. No. Hmm. Hmm. Will it become a theocracy? No. Almost like England, a constitutional parliament, not a monarchy. Uh, More like parliamentary parliament. Parliament. The two-party system is gone. Will it be better or will it be worse? It'll be different. It will be different. And there will be more attention to nature, more involvement with nature environmentally. Yeah, less children, less babies. Uh, art will play a great part. You won't have the buildings, the structures. You won't have the square, chromey looking steel kind of buildings. They'll be old school. You're going back to the classic. Looks like the federal triangle. Your marble, concrete, plants, trees, grass, in balance. Um, what is the name of that period? What is that? Olympian look, Greek Olympian look. Zeus, Zeus's pad, where Zeus lived. Um, those structures will be kept. Other structures are going to be more tailored to the environment. You will it more like it depends on your side of the country because you have the Midwest, not the Midwest, the Southwest, and those homes and businesses, those buildings will be more tailored to and suitable for that environment there. Okay, it's not like uh, you're going to have one kind of housing style that you would be, it'd be great in New York, but it would look really weird in Arizona. Who lives like that with all this space and all this sun? You know, Hmm. uh, we don't need a sun deck. you know, um, California is losing its coast now. Um, wow, I just heard the Navy takes over California. The Navy has California's coast. Wow. Mm-mm. That's all I'm getting right about now, folks. But yeah, next 4 generations. I didn't think it would be a million years because if it was a million years, folks wouldn't be looking so carefully at the situation right now. Okay, was there anything else I needed to do today? I don't sure. I'm not sure. I know it was. I'm gonna have to start listing. I'll be doing a lot more videos. I feel great, and I will be making the time. So until we meet again, this is Grand Madam. Much love.